So once every few months, I'll go to Cincinnati to the gun range, and the first gun I pick up will be an AR-15. And for those of you who don't know, it's an assault weapon style, rapidly would shoot, 30-round magazine in it. Well, I love to shoot it. It was a blast to shoot. It was cheap, and one time I was saving up to buy one. However, one event changed my entire perspective on these weapons. I was staying in Orlando in June, the first 2 weeks of June, and on June 12th, the Orlando nightclub shooting happened, and we were smack dab in the middle of the city. So the next day I wake up and there's flowers all over the place on the streets, and there's vigils happening across the entire city. And on the news, mothers are holding up pictures of their sons and daughters who are still missing, who they have no idea what happened to them. However, in the wake of this tragedy, something amazing happened. There was a sense of unity, like everyone came together, and it was clear laws needed to be changed. And seeing this made me rethink my belief system on these weapons. Even though I still go to the gun range sometimes, I don't look at the AR-15 the same way. And most Americans see guns as a symbol of freedom. It's not that they need an assault weapon, it's just that they want that inner sense of freedom. And they don't want the government creeping up on their values. And I believe existing gun laws need to be changed to make it harder to obtain one of these. So, assault rifles. They're seen as a symbol of our Second Amendment right to bear arms. And even though most of the most devastating shootings in our nation's history have been spearheaded by these weapons. Now, some people may say that our country was founded on the right to bear arms, which is true. You should be able to own any weapon you want and not have the government interfere with that. And or they'll say, why should we be punished for the actions of others? I mean, isn't the mental health system to blame for this? And even if we take away the assault weapons from all these crazy people, can they still get a hold of other kinds of weapons? Or, my favorite, when people say these, assault bans never worked. And how will limiting magazine size affect how many shootings there are, and can they just use handguns or other weapons? Now, I like to revisit the old cliche that our country was founded on the right to bear arms. It was, but back then, it took 20 seconds to reload any kind of weapon you had, and there were no 30-round magazines, and there were no assault rifles. And according to CNN, the U.S. accounts for 31% of mass shootings in the world, even though we only have 5% of the world's population. And the 3 deadliest shootings in U.S. history have happened within the past 10 years. Those are Orlando, Sandy Hook, and Virginia Tech. So, with that said, it's time to change. And while I agree that the mental health system plays a role in these mass shootings, we can't keep blaming it. It's a factor, I know, but it can't be solved until we change existing gun laws. Psychological tests need to be conducted every time someone buys one of these weapons. And people with prior health issues shouldn't be able to get one of these weapons so easily. And that kind of brings to mind James Holmes, the Aurora shooter. He had prior mental health issues and wasn't allowed to own any type of firearms, but somehow he got one. And it has worked here before. Back in 1994, Bill Clinton passed his assault rifle ban, which limited magazine size. You could have pistol grips or butts that were certain shapes. And there was a 40% drop in assault rifle violence along the Mexican border, and a 32% drop in assault rifle crime nationally with this law. So we need to be willing to go through extra steps to acquire one of these weapons. These weapons cause destruction, these weapons have no benefit, and these weapons should not be so easy to obtain. All the places I've mentioned in my past 2 speeches, whether it be Sandy Hook or Orlando, could have been easily avoided if we had revised laws and made psychological tests a must. So I'd like to ask you to look around and ask, are you done with the violence these weapons spread? If so, spread the message and these senseless killings can stop. Thank you. Yeah, Paige.
How close were you to the Orlando shooting?
The nightclub was like a 5-minute drive away, so that's why there's so much stuff in the streets. Yeah.
So are you just against like the AR?
Well, AR-15 is just like an assault weapon, but there's tons of them. There's pistols that are classified as assault weapons. fire repeatedly and have large magazines. That's what yeah.
So you want to put the like tests they have to go through in order to buy a gun? Would this be like by the dealer or by like the state or?
It would be by the government.
Okay.
So there's talk to set up centers for this, even though that would cost more money. But there was talk to set up centers where people would go take psychological tests and they'd go for 4 years and purchase these weapons. So that was just
Right.
okay.
Are there any, like barriers you have to go through while being at the gun range, like, you understand what I mean? Like, tests you have to
Yeah,
do?
you have to be if you're under 18, you have to have a